Welcome to Permission Hustle Podcast. It's Audrey here. Today I want to do a podcast on a topic that is really kind of near and dear to my heart right now, simply because I'm living it and I'm breathing it, and it's something that I've really been trying hard to alter a lot lately. And the simple topic is people don't know what they don't know. And this is how I'm relating this to business. I'm somebody that, obviously I've been a digital influencer for almost 13 years now. I did pinksandblues.com for 2 years. And then in 2008, I switched over to momgenerations.com. So really the online space has been my world, has been my home for, obviously over a decade. And it's something that I love. I think we all know people who are digital influencers. And if you're listening to this and you're not one, I'm going to make this really quick and really short and really sweet. But, this was something that I kind of just got involved in so many years ago. And I've just seen the evolution of social media take place. I was doing this at a time before there was Twitter, before there was Instagram and Pinterest and really YouTube or, any of these things. It truly was uncharted territory. And I loved to write. I kind of got into this, and I've said it before, I stumbled into this because I needed to, number one, make money. I needed to make money from home because I had little kids at the time. And I genuinely love to write and love to share and love to communicate. So putting all those things together in a big bowl and I'm mixing it together, it just made sense. It just was like the perfect fit for me. And I hope that in life you all are able to find a job, a profession, a passion that is just that, a perfect fit for you. It's something that I think we all strive for and we all want in life, but it's something that we definitely don't always get. And so I really do feel like it is one of those things where if you can get that perfect ingredients in a bowl and make it a really great cake, then you've found what it is you're supposed to do. But all that aside, the reason I'm saying my backstory is before I became a blogger or a digital influencer, the only thing I wanted to do was be a broadcast journalist. That was it. I loved sharing stories. I wanted to share stories. I wanted to be Katie Couric. I wanted to be on the Today Show. That was who I wanted to be. I felt comfortable talking to people. I loved hearing people's stories. I love being able to share those stories. Many of them so important information-wise, and some of them just really important, the sharing of something that's going on in their life and hopefully changing or bringing awareness to something. But that to me was always my passion, and I worked really hard all those years before becoming a digital influencer to position myself in that career. It's like what we tell our children now, right? If your child wants to be a teacher, right, and they're in college, then you say to them, listen, as soon as you get out of college, start applying, maybe intern with a teacher, talk to teachers. I know my son, William, right now is in 8th grade heading into high school, and we're at the beginning of this journey, but I've watched my niece who's 18 right now, and she is going off to college next year, and she, wanted to be a doctor for a little bit, so she kind of dabbled her feet in and actually mentored underneath somebody, and then she figured, maybe that's not for me. It's just one of those things where you have the ability, as we all do with our children, to craft them and help them really follow what it is that they want to do. And hopefully they'll keep going or realize, okay, that isn't for me. Very early on, I knew I wanted to be a broadcast journalist. So my mom and my dad, I remember they let me play with the video camera. You guys remember like the shoulder cams? I used to have a shoulder cam, and I used to sit there and I used to make mock little news segments about the craziest, stupidest stuff, but I loved it. It was so much fun for me to just kind of sit there, and I would interview my brother, I would interview my sister, I would interview fake people, and for me, I just loved it. My parents still have all these videos on VHS, and it's really funny to really go back and look at them. My dad's been putting a lot of them on YouTube, and I laugh. I see, wow, like that was something that I really knew early on that I loved. I loved sharing and communicating with people. And as, listen, it's no surprise, that did not come to pass. I'm not on the Today Show. I'm not a broadcast journalist. I don't work for a news network, but I've always kind of thought that I got the next best thing, right? I was able to craft a job. And if I wasn't a mother, I would not be doing what I'm doing. My children, as in life, things happen and the universe puts you in situations, and the universe really guides you as to, I guess, where you're supposed to go and where you're supposed to be. I know it sounds, not everybody believes this, but I do. I really do in my heart and my soul, is that, you have to have faith in the universe. There's a plan. And though it might not be the plan that you wanted it to necessarily always be, it's going to be the plan that it was meant to be. And fingers crossed that meant to be is something that you genuinely love. And it really has kind of morphed into that. But that being said, I never stopped that broadcast journalism passion that is not ever burnt out. And I do the local segments in Rhode Island here, and I love to do satellite media tours. I love to do TV work with brands. I love to do video work. I mean, though YouTube and Facebook Lives are not actual news segments, but nonetheless, I do get to kind of live a little bit of that. Oh, let me make a video. Let me craft it. It's the crafting of what I want to share. So, it is like the next best thing. So getting back to, you don't know what you don't know, right? People don't know what they don't know. Getting back to that is that in business and whatever it is that we do, whatever you want to do or wherever you want to go, people don't know if they don't know. And this is what I'm talking about. Today, I actually shot a segment at my local news station with Hood Sour Cream. They launched a new squeeze bottle. And so I was chatting with the client, and I've worked with them now for almost a year. It's a great, great, great team. I really, really, really like these women that are on this account. And we were chatting, and I was talking about news segments and satellite media tours. And one of the girls like, oh, do you do? And I was there doing a branded video segment for them. But we were just talking about satellite media tours. And she said, oh, do you do those? And I said, oh my God, yes, I love doing satellite media tours. Have you ever had any? If you're looking for somebody, please, I'd love to toss my name into the hat because I love doing live TV. I've done a ton of different satellite media tours throughout the last, maybe 8 years. So yes, 100%. And this was the thing. She didn't know that I like to do that work. Now, it's not, I don't walk around with like a sandwich board saying, hey, I love to do TV work. Hey, I like to do satellite media tours. Hey, I love to do interviews. But this is the thing. People don't know what they don't know. And it really was an aha moment because last week on LinkedIn, and for those of you who don't utilize LinkedIn, I hope you take this away out of this podcast too, is to utilize the power of LinkedIn too. LinkedIn is like the business Facebook. You have professional people there sharing professional content. There's no fluffy things that you have a bad day, you had a fight with your boyfriend or your husband, or your kids are driving you crazy. There's none of that. There's just straight up really great business content. And I really try to use LinkedIn for me as a way to connect with other brands and businesses and other professional people. And what I have really tried to do on LinkedIn lately is really use it as a way and a vehicle to showcase what it is that I really like to do and want to do, because people don't know if they don't know. How can any brand out there, how can any agency out there know that I personally like to do video work if they don't know that I like to do it? How do they know that I might even be good at it if they've never seen anything that I've done? And so really, for me, it's been an eye-opener, is to be able, in a very courteous, respectful way. LinkedIn is not a media page. You don't want it to be all straight, your highlight reel, but you want it to be content and business and just any kind of information that you feel business-wise, professionally, should and can be shared. I mean, listen, I like sharing social media trends. I like sharing, anything over there that I feel like works in the professional realm. And I wanted to do this podcast because it made me stop and think about a lot of the women that I talk to online about, hey, listen, I would love to try to pitch a fashion brand. I love fashion. It's something that I really want to do. Or somebody may be talking about doing more DIY or more fitness, or maybe going into more video work or starting a podcast. People don't know if they don't know. Even in your professional life, if obviously you're not a digital influencer, people don't know if they don't know. Do you have a promotion in sight? Is there somebody in the company that you emulate and want to go that path? Talk to somebody in your company. I actually remember when I worked at Donna Karan, straight out of college, I actually remember talking to Donna Karen herself, I was a personal assistant. That was my first job out of college. I was one of 4 personal assistants in her office. And I remember just feeling, okay, so this is not the path I want to take for the rest of my life. I knew that, but I also knew that you got to start from the ground up. And I believe in hard work, and I believe in knowing every aspect of the business. And as crazy as it was sometimes to be there and really just be in that atmosphere of being the lowest on the totem pole. I mean, at that point, I was the lowest on the totem pole, and I was a coffee runner and a mail opener and a coat checker. But it gave me a great work ethic to be able to sit down and really go, who would I like to be like in this company? What direction can I go in? And I actually remember talking to Donna Karen herself once. She would have little meetings with each of us and kind of like, hey, just kind of like a spot check, like maybe like a kind of like a review, so to speak. And I remember saying to her once, wow, I really am mesmerized by like the PR department. Like it just seems really fun to me. And of course, PR is fun, but it's a lot of hard work. And I remember her saying to me, well, go talk to the head of PR, Patty Cohen. Tell her that maybe this is something that you might want to look into or shadow somebody. So whatever job you're in, there's always the ability to be able to share something with someone that they don't know. And I'm talking in terms of maybe a job that you would love to maybe get eventually, maybe a team that you'd like to work on. Maybe if you're a team teacher or you work in collaborations a lot, or you have partnerships in your offices, maybe it's as simple as this, and I really want to work with that team. I feel like a lot of magic could happen there. People don't know what they don't know. If you're someone that's looking for help in any aspect of your business, people don't know what they don't know. People don't know that you're struggling with this. People don't know that you're having an issue with this. People don't know that this is your pain point. And it's very vulnerable to share sometimes some of the things that people don't know what we don't know. But it's the only way that you're going to truly be able to open it up and get what you want, get what you need. Or at the very least, get it out into the universe, and hopefully what's meant to be will be. So that's what I'm talking about today. It was funny because I feel like, and in these podcasts, I mean, obviously we come from very personal, we talk in these podcasts in very personal terms. And I feel like that's the only way that we really can identify with each other. I'm never going to come up here and do broad strokes. If it's something that I can relate to my life as an example, I really think that sometimes, for me at least, that's the easiest way for me to explain what I'm talking about. But I will say this. In the last 2 weeks, I really feel like, at least with LinkedIn, I have a strategy. I know what it is that I want to do on LinkedIn. I really want to do a great job of curating a really great group of people on LinkedIn. When I started with Facebook, Facebook started and opened up to everybody, I literally accepted every Facebook invitation under the sun. I mean, it really is almost like we talk about people going, oh my God, I hate when I put a post up. I don't know half the people that like my post. Like that's me. That is me with 2 hands up. I don't know half the people. They're not my friends. Not all of them personal friends. That really does make me not share a lot of personal stuff on my personal Facebook. I use it as a great way to share content and share things that are going on in my life, because I do have a lot of personal friends that I'm friends with there, but I don't know everybody. I am looking at LinkedIn as a different strategy for me personally. I'm looking at LinkedIn as a great way to find really smart, like-minded business people and professionals, and really have a great, I love looking in my stream and my feed because there's great content there. I know I don't know everybody going in. I mean, on my Facebook, it's like a wild card when I log on. Oh, am I going to know everybody in my feed? On LinkedIn, I know going in, I'm not going to know everybody, but it's going to be really great information that's in my feed because I've really taken the time to craft it. I've really taken the time to make sure that it's something that's I'm going to be able to utilize and have helpful for me. So I really want you to take away, hopefully, from this podcast, like really 2 things. Number 1, have a LinkedIn strategy, because that's important in business. And number 2, people don't know what they don't know. Don't be afraid to share where you want to go. Don't be afraid to share what you want to do. Don't be afraid to share what your dreams are and goals are, because there are people out there that can help you, but they can't help you if you don't know. If they don't know, not you. You know. I hope you know, because if you're sharing it, you better know. But they can't help you if they don't know. And people, I've found a majority of the time, do like to help. You might find in the groups of people, a couple of people that they don't help you, but that is not the majority of people. So just get out there and share what it is, because people don't know what they don't know. So I hope you guys got something from this. As always, thanks so much for listening to Permission to Hustle. Head over to Facebook and like our page. It's a group, and we would love for you to get over there. We share information every single day. We also have our Instagram, Permission to Hustle, very easy name. And as always, remember to give yourself permission to hustle.